war's not over, the dawn's not that far away. Hop back on the saddle soon, you soulless soldier. The dark can consume your brain. All we ever wanted was a little air to breathe, but all we got are ashes of our old memories.
Can you feel me now? We're in. We're in.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Welcome back, everyone. I am back. We are back. Women's League is back. Everything's back.
Well, it's
Well,
about to not be back because it's the
yes,
last season of Round Robin.
yeah. This is last
Yeah.
last week of regulation season of XP Women's League. I am excited at the end of the season. It's always good because there are still. I mean, in a lot of round robins in a lot of leagues, we have situations where you've basically got your standings. But even now,
Yeah.
like we can still have a shuffle in the standings depending on how teams win. And I think we're going to have a look at the standings right here. Perfect. Yeah. So we've got Viking and Grumpy right in the middle. That can change up. Volps as well can change up. If I'm pretty sure if they get a really good win, it depends.
Um, Yeah, so I mean that's the interesting thing. I mean, like you said, historically there are a lot of games where like your standings are solidified. Like it's week two, everyone knows what it is. But as you know, like as it's developed, like right now, it's not just about how everyone else plays, but it's how it's not just how you play if you want to get into the top four, but it's how everyone else plays. Like Viking Army and Grumpy Grapes, they're stuck in the middle. Viking Army could have the game of their life, but if Grumpy Grape shows up, they might snake that spot. Like right now, we have a 1 round difference between making finals and making not finals. Assuming
Yeah.
Viking Army and Grumpy both win their games, because Overt if I've done the math right, is solidified in their positioning. But if
Mhm.
Viking Army and Grumpy both win their games, um, then it's down to who wins more rounds. Viking Army, of course, has that extra 1 round difference, but if they beat Overt with like I don't know, like a 7-3, but Grumpy Grapes shows up with a 7-1 against I think Radical tonight, then
Correct. Yes.
Grumpy Grapes is suddenly in there. And so the fate of this game is quite interesting, with Overt and Radical both solidified in their positioning, but they have such still an incredible impact that they could have on the standings, you know?
Yeah, yes. It's almost like the fate of these teams are left in the hands of others, and that must be very frightening for both the teams here.
Precisely.
Honestly, we will be seeing Viking and Over on our stream today. But let's have a look at what all the teams are fighting for and what everyone here has gathered here today for. A $3,000 prize pool. It's quite amazing, honestly.
Indeed.
And half of that is going to the champions. Right now, on top, we have Warriors who want to keep their spot and so far are undefeated in the league. And I
Yeah,
assume they
not
want to try
bad.
to keep that trait going. Um,
And what was that
there's
round difference? Like something like
yeah,
what?
some
They've lost like less than a game's worth of rounds total.
it's they've been crushing it
Yeah.
this season. And obviously they want to take that, but everyone in the top four
Um,
after this week has a chance to go into the playoffs and steal that from them,
I mean,
which would be great.
I mean, exactly as you said, with Warriors being so undefeated, even if you are already solidified in your positioning, I mean, with Forsaken Boba and Overt, sorry, still playing, I mean, they don't want to give up just yet, because especially if you're going, I mean, the seedings still haven't been determined, and it can make all the difference if you get pushed against Overt and you lose first round of finals, you get that fourth place positioning, like
Mhm.
that seeding can be the difference between getting that fourth place and getting that prize money with third, because fourth place, I mean, sure, finals, it's a great accomplishment, but the prize is definitely an incentive to keep trying.
You're in it to win it,
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah. Like
100%. I mean, if you're
no
gonna
one's in it
play,
just to slide through. You're going for the big bucks at the
no,
end.
100%.
You're going for as much as you can, yeah. And if we could bring up what we are showing today on both our stream and the main stream, that would be awesome. Over on our side, we're watching Viking take on Over to try to solidify their fourth position spot and make their way into the playoffs. While over on the mainstream, at the same time, we'll see Grumpy take on Radical and try to take that from Viking. Great matches to watch side by side. Honestly, if you've got multiple monitors, that's what
True.
you want to see. It'll be great. Followed by Warriors against Volps after. Sorry, no, that's off stream. So followed by Forsaken and against Fallen after that on the mainstream as well. Um,
Do you have any
but yeah,
predictions for the
honestly,
four games?
oh,
Was it too
All
close
right,
to
all
call?
right, all right.
Let's see
It is
then.
too
Let's see
close to
then.
call. So I think Warriors are going to finish the season at the round robin undefeated. I think they're going to take out
Yeah.
Volps. Um, although I think Volps have been trying very hard to try to claim like been planning for this and been working towards this, so they might put up a fight, but I think Warriors still will take it. Same with Forsaken. I think Forsaken will take this one out against Fallen. Fallen haven't been able to claim a match this season, and unfortunately, I don't think this game will change for them. Now we're up to the ones that we're talking before.
Yeah.
I am very close to the Radical girls,
enough.
as many people know. But I think they can, from some knowledge that I might have, I think they can drag
Some
out.
secret knowledge.
Yeah, I think
You
they
got
can
the
take
strategies.
one out tonight from Grumpy. But I like. Yeah, the Radical and the Grumpy girls are very close, and it will be a great match to watch. I honestly think it will go close. So I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna say Radical can take that
Fair
one.
enough.
And with the Viking Overt, I initially
That's a
would have
close
put my
game.
money on I would have put my money on Overt at the start of the season. I would have thought they would be a shoe in for this game, but after watching Viking this season, they have really shown what they can do. It's been really great watching them, and I kind of think Viking are going to steal this one away. They're going to push. Obviously, they want to hold their position. They know what's on the line for them, and I think they're really going to give us something to watch. So I'll say Viking will take that one
That's
tonight.
fair. I'm gonna quickly flick through mine because I'm sure we need to get onto the other stuff. But I'm gonna go a bit further. I'm gonna try and guess some rounds. Okay, ready? Let's
Okay.
flick for this. I think Warriors against Volps. I think it will be a 7-2 to Warriors. I think Grumpy Grapes against Radical. I think it will be a 7-3 to Grumpy Grapes. I think Overt against Viking Army. Very close game. I think we might see an overtime. I think Overt might just snipe it in the end. And Forsaken against Fallen Angels, I'm gonna go again for a 7-2 win to Forsaken Boba. Those are my round predictions, and those are
All
my win
right. Let's
predictions
see.
for this night.
Let's
how
see.
it
Let's
goes.
compare those at the end of the night. See how we go.
We'll
Yeah.
check it out.
I do think you're right. If we do go to overtime, I think Overt will take it. They have very good stamina.
Yeah,
so,
I was just about to say Viking Army.
They're good in those long games.
100%. I mean, if Viking Army can clinch it early, but with that stamina, Overt's just very, very endurance based.
Awesome. I think we're loading in now. There we go. The game's already ready for us. Viking Army doesn't have a space in them, but that's okay.
Oh,
that's okay.
production.
We're not gonna rehost for that. We don't need a rehost for that. What bands do you reckon we're gonna see? Definitely R6 related. That's the reason there's no space there. That's fine.
Okay, let's. No surprise there. A Thatcher. I mean, look, Thatcher's been an absolute staple ban. I've said this once. I've said this again. On a map like Oregon, in my opinion, Thatcher just is a wasted ban. The walls are so easy to get. I mean, it's definitely there to have it again, like as a peace of mind. But in all honesty, against a competent team, you should not be banning Thatcher. And I'll stand by that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. There's a lot you can do without a Thatcher.
Yeah.
But I think some teams just like that. They have that staple. It's just comfortable to know that if you need to trick, it's a lot easier. If you don't need to worry about it on the other side of the map. So far these bans have been very
pretty normal.
standard.
But I mean, hey, like, look, as a player, I mean, I love my Clubhouse. I love my Oregon. But as a caster, as someone who watches, Clubhouse in Oregon, man, they've been done to death. You love them, but you also hate watching them. And there we go.
Yeah.
The mirror for that basement site. Nothing looking too special here. Pretty much, I'm assuming what you expected as well from these bans.
Yeah. It's sort of every time we go in, I sort of hope for something spicy, some ban that we don't expect, like throw in a Jaeger ban or something. But we got basically the stock standard bans. Oh, we have our new UI system as well.
That's pretty.
I do like it. Cortari's there's flexing the fact that she has an elite, but probably not having it equipped, which is a-okay now. I'm doing the same with my elites. But I like this. What do you think of the new UI?
So, like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty steadfast in my own ways, and I definitely I see new things and they confuse me and they scare me. But in all honesty,
Defenders,
Look,
protect your
are
bombs
there
from being
issues with
defused
Siege?
by
Are there
attackers.
issues with the UI? Sure, I'm willing to believe that. And I might get flamed for this. I think a lot of the hate is manufactured for the sake of having something to argue over. Like I'm hearing people send photos of like the net code and being like, "Why are you working on the UI?" Because I'm sure the UI artists are programmers.
Yeah. I do 100% agree with that. Like something a little bit about me is I studied game design. That's my thing. And I can tell you for a fact, 98% of UI designers know nothing about netcode. So they will not be working
Attackers are moving
anywhere
out
near
to locate a
that.
bomb and defuse it.
But we're seeing a very standard setup right now. I'm keeping my eye open for something spicy, but so far we see very standard stuff. We're seeing some attackers head to Big Tower, to I'm assuming Maverick Trick. We do have the Maverick on the board in the hands of Psycho. So far very standard. Both of these teams I know have the capability of spicing it up and showing something new, something fancy, but I think they're playing it safe. Overt don't want to drop down, even if they have secured. They don't want to lose this one. They need to, show that they are ready for the playoffs. And obviously, Viking just need to hold on to that fourth position, and they're not going to take any chances with anything spicy.
Yeah, 100%. And as you can see, I mean, Overt are taking their time, and as we've seen, they do have their patience and they do have their setup. I mean, look, they're just really focusing on this positioning. We've got Faith, which I believe is Overt's internal sub, and paired with Ravenna, they're going to be clearing out their utility classroom. They'll be ready for that pinch. We have the two people in Big Tower just getting ready to Maverick that wall open. We might see some play on Big Window later on in that game, or someone rotating around, but they're getting their positions, they're clearing that utility, and honestly, that's just how you play Siege. Weird One's going to lose a little bit of HP, but right now, no one's capitalizing off anything. No one's really going super ham. They're just really working on making sure that when that burst goes out, and I think that's exactly what's going to work. This wall's going to open, they have their smoke, they have their flashbangs, and we're just going to see how well Viking Army are able to defend against something like this.
Yeah, some smoke's already coming out from Gorn to just make sure that they don't push through that attic too early. You might have to give it up eventually. After all, you can't really stop the Maverick, but you can delay them for enough time. But it looks like Gorn... Oh, yep, still holding onto the shield. Okay, that's good.
As a smoke player, I'm a big fan of never giving up attic. Just shoot
yeah,
them.
play your life in attic. I agree. I like.
No, don't play your life in attic. Just don't die.
Yeah, play your life, but don't die.
Easy, exactly.
So therefore, you'll just constantly be there. That's actually my mentality when playing Sieges, like the whole time. It's just kill them, don't die. It always works.
Why don't
yeah.
everything just do that?
I don't understand. There we go. It's gone taking out one, as you said. Just kill them and get killed. That's no more Maverick on the board, but already used all the utility that he needs. As Ravenna just goes in and okay. Ravenna doesn't.
Unfortunate, but hey,
oh no!
Down. And there we go. The post-plant positioning already showing from Overt. They have everything lined up. Bean is going to get another kill. So even 2, 3, 4, and now we have Viking Army, who were just holding sites so well a few seconds ago, trying to retake. And that's exactly about Overt's beauty. I mean, look at this. They have their drones, they have their mobility, they have their utility, and it's an absolute bloodbath. And it's over before you can even know it. From 40 seconds left to a win before your eyes. And Viking Army needs to learn how to defend against a burst like this, because Overt are going to keep doing this. They are not going to take stupid gunfights. They are not going to be rushing in willy-nilly the second they get that. But if you give them an inch, Overt is a team that we've seen time and time again. They will take a mile.
Yeah, that was... I don't even know how to explain that. That was
I think
just...
that's the 6th pick.
Yes, I do believe we may have to 6th pick there. Just teasing the Thorn or showing off the Thorn. Is 6th picking? Okay, yeah, that's what a surprise. Yeah, but I'm seeing Overt here. They're happy with their setup. Psycho is the only change right there, swapping from the Maverick to the Habana for the hatches.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I don't know why, because they already won upstairs, so. They're not going to go basement. Maybe there's a Habana sort of setup that I'm
Honestly,
not
so-
sure about.
That's what I was gonna say. It might not happen, and maybe it's just help for the wall. But in all honesty, I mean, with the smoke in that pick pretty early on, for anyone, it pains me as a smoke game to give you guys this secret know-how. But provided you can clear out any wall rounds, that would be like the mute. And I haven't seen the mute jammer on the wall
10
just yet,
seconds
so
to go.
we'll see how it goes. But if you can get that jammer up, if you open up a
5
trophy
seconds to
wall,
go.
it's impossible for a smoke to play. And seeing this Hibana
Attackers
addition,
must locate and
I'm
defuse the
thinking
bomb.
that's what it's for. I mean, I might be wrong, but like, if Hibana goes up and she's getting that wall, nothing the smoke can do. Or even it might be as simple as them wanting to get Attic and up at the same time. On one hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, Hibana's an incredibly versatile operator, especially on a site like this. There's really just a lot she can do.
Yeah, I think as well. It's sort of the options of, you know, it's sort of a safe bet to assume that they're going to be upstairs on the first round. On the second round, maybe they're going to change it up and just be like, no, we'll go basement. Bringing the Hibana just secures all angles just in case as well. A lot easier to get hatches that way. With a Maverick, you can, but if you're like me, it's very difficult.
I had to
not
play
good with it.
Maverick for like the first time ever because I don't really play Maverick, and I was trying to get a hatch in a flat game. My randoms weren't as calm and collected as you would expect of the Siege community.
Oh,
You know,
really? That's
upstanding-
a shocker. That is a shocker. I would have expected so much more. I'm disappointed in random flats.
exactly.
I am liking the angle weird one has. You know, you get the standard shield, which has just
That's
been
what happens when
removed.
you have a zone.
But the angle as well down into lobby door with it through the floor, I really appreciate that. It's such a small thing, but it gives so much more versatility. So weird
I
one
had a
can help
heart
out.
attack. I
M
thought Kotari
M
was
helps out.
already in white for a second.
That would have been very
Oh, and the
powerful.
Nitro is going to be prevented with a sliver of a health and only one thermite charge in her pocket. I mean, she's still got a decent amount, enough to get a kill here. But I mean, you know, while we've seen a similar lineup before, I mean, Viking Army's definitely changing a little bit up. I mean, we have lost the Aruni, swapping with BA, playing a lot more inside. I'm assuming, you know, BA is realizing, like, look, we were winning gunfights, but the second we're dead. But as you can see, Attic has been given up completely. Psycho and Phoenix already have Attic before 50 seconds before is going down, but Kotari is taken out. This is the 40-second mark. Overt has to go for it, and we are going to see if Viking Army's new setup will protect them, or will we get down.
Yeah, exactly. I think that. Oh, there it is. Kids. I was going to say kids is the pressable here. If they take kids, they have the round, and they just took it before I could even mention it. But Wood One's the only one fighting back. She did have a chance to take out the planet, but Psycho thought, I think not today. Protecting Ravenna, the dedicated planner, it seems 2 rounds, 2 plants, almost on the second. But Over just coming out, guns blazing. I think, yeah, that's the smart choice, Viking. Switch it up, go basement, try something new, revisit it if you get your confidence back. But right now, you're just getting steamrolled on the attack.
I think the Vikings' biggest, what they need to sort of figure out, at least at this point in the round, is, I mean, you have a lot of understanding that, you know, your support players are, you know, like the more passive, and your roam is the one that are quite worried. But as a support player, dare I say, you have to be one of the most aggressive players on that roster. And that's something that if Viking are wanting to win, that is something they have to do. And namely,
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I'm only I'm only doubling down on this sort of smoke criticism because that's really my my forte. It's the one thing that I'm kind of okay at. But as a smoke player, you have to be taking those fights. The shotgun and the SMG-11 combo is just so incredibly powerful. And also with the Goya, I mean, we saw early on where using that shield, not giving up the position, but not really taking these fights. And those 2 support players, as in Gon, I mean, these are both incredibly talented, mechanically talented players as well. And so they definitely have that capability. They definitely have that capacity. But we need to see them taking these fights. We need to see when 2 attackers take Attic straight away, the smoke swing with that shotgun,
Attackers
or
are
throwing
moving to
some and
defuse the
getting
bomb.
help if need be. We need to see when they take kids control with Attic control, the Goyo contesting that, even if it results in a risky trade out, because I mean that's the thing, you can't be taking these one on gunfights, because all Overt's going to do is they're going to take that momentum and they're not just going to stop and leave this at a war of attrition, they're going to keep going, and you need to curb that momentum, and the only way you beat something like that is to play risky back. And if Viking Army do not meet that aggression head first, they are going to keep losing rounds, and that is just a fact.
Yeah, it's something that they really need to get a handle on quickly. But something overt, and I love doing this in ranked games. I love seeing this. The lightning take, it's you just put your drone and cut the map in half. You put your drone in any position to make sure that no one's over in small tower, and you get instant map control, and that's exactly what they've done. It obviously from this position, as we can see, looks like it's going to be a laundry white take or laundry freezer take, but also something that I noticed during the drone phase was Ravenna was able to get her drone inside. If that drone's still alive, then that is a lot of intel, but Cortari off the board is a big hit, taken off by Az. That's from above, too.
Yeah, it was from Amri. I was just going to comment on that as well. Now, that's the exact thing. This is the issue with focusing all of your utility, all of your intel on this burst-like push. I mean, they had drones in garage, in site, in classroom, in freeze. I mean, Az does get traded out, but they're meeting drones. But no one droned Amri. No one saw that hatch, and no one found Az. She does get traded out, and we have like this 4-4 and over that's going to be playing with that momentum. But that is the biggest downside of being so dedicated to the site, is you lose track of the moments. And it can be intimidating playing against a team like Overt. You really want to bunker down, but prior to against what you might expect against a team that is, this aggressive, don't play too loose. But I mean, like, we just saw straight off the bat, Az is getting that kill. Now, she wasn't able to return to site. She wasn't able to make more plays. And we're in a similar situation of the 40 seconds and utility starting to be cleared out. But I mean, that could have been potentially something big.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, I am a firm believer of holding freezer. I generally hold freezer myself, and it's a very powerful position. But there's 3 over in freezer. They have that control. They have the wall open. Psycho's planning, and they have cover. Psycho's planning in laundry, but.
And this is exactly what I meant. Viking Army are taking these fights head on. They're swinging. I mean, M's just going to go, and they're just going to throw bodies at Beans. And Beans surrounded from all angles, and that was exactly what I was looking for. We heard the plant going down. The smoke swung with the SMG-11. It's such an incredible high DPS weapon. M took that fight, and at that point, especially when you are the defenders, when you have that number advantage, you just need to throw bodies at it. Because here's the thing, you can have the best player in the world running down, but a gun only has so many bullets. It's really just that.
That's why you play Maestro.
True. But it's really just that Area 51 tactic. They can't get us all, and honestly, that's how you contest it. With every single attack, you have that weakness, and I know Freezer's such an imperative site and such an important area to control. But when you have your whole team Freezer, it sort of works against you. It becomes that fatal funnel. We had Overt's entire team Freezer, and the second Psycho dies, the entirety of Viking Army don't need to watch anything else. They don't need to watch Big Tower. They don't need to watch Laundry. They don't need to watch Bunker, which has already been reinforced. You now have 5 attackers with no intel. You need to go through a rotate that has 4 defenders at different angles all watching it. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I think as well, like, I would never have 3 attackers push through a narrow hallway anywhere else on the map, so Freezer shouldn't be any different, especially when you've got those head highs open. You've got obviously another door that you have to look out for, and there's a lot of places where the defenders could pop out. It wasn't a smart choice. Definitely great to grab that map, the part of the map, and have that presence in there. But maybe one player to hold the angles, and move someone else around to sort of flank or to protect the flank from a different angle, get that crossfire going. I just don't. I think they were relying on Cortari to push down Laundry with Psycho, and they didn't really adapt after Cortari's death. So I think that was still a very important part.
I mean, again, like, I mean, that's definitely very plausible, but I mean, Overt isn't really a team that we see, not adaptable is definitely not a characteristic I would give Overt, so I was definitely confused by their playstyle, and what I think, and again, I might be wrong, is perhaps they were trying to emulate that, that incredible attack we saw from Warriors on that cafe off their Medoff, getting down the plant, and then having that being a firing line. Because Psycho was very, very close, and here's how I think this would play out. If Psycho got down the diffuser, we now have, instead of a hopeless situation for the attackers, all the defenders stuck on B side. They have to cross 5 incredibly powerful gunners and 5 incredibly powerful, 4 with Cortari dying. And I think that's what happened. I think, yes, Cortari, and that may have been the original push, but I think the second Cortari died, they're like, look at this absolute devastation we saw Warriors, and they tried to emulate that. But unfortunately, and that's the power of aggression, especially on the support. I mean, PsychoFoul wasn't able to get that diffuser down, and that's the thing, is sure, Siege is an FPS, but you have to play objective, it's imperative. If that diffuser had been planted, you know, I'd be willing to hedge my bets that that outcome would be drastically different, if not even a win decisively for us.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if that diffuser went down, it would have drawn out the defenders. They wouldn't have the time on their side anymore. It would have been a very different. But speaking of, now instead, win one taken out instead of Cortari at the start by a Goyo shield as well. That's not what you'd like to see. And now Faith has a very powerful angle, basically controlling Shower's corridor and the line all the way down to Z. Az can't get back to sight through there anymore. I do believe hatches though, so that shouldn't be too bad. But
Smoke
they
is
start
so
falling.
And this is what I meant about this aggression. You have the smoke in Shower, and I mean, we're going to even this out, and it's going back to a 3v3, and really, they have 20 seconds left. We're going to see this burst again, and here we go. Psycho's already getting the diffuser down, and while generally an equal numbers advantage favors the defenders a lot, the defenders have given up all of side control. They have no idea what the attackers are, and they are being watched from your side. There's really not a lot that these defenders can do, but they're going to stick in here, evening it out. They just have to win their ones. And Az is in a bit of a tense situation.
Oh, what a shot! Whoa!
What? I have no words.
I'm sorry. We're checking Moss files on Az after that, right?
Okay.
What?
I mean, he just fundamentally is fundamentally an FPS, and as someone that has done, you know, analysis and strat work, it's a beautiful thing to watch. But would you know what it meant it's almost painful from an analysis or coaching perspective to watch a dire situation be clutched by just
terrible.
sheer mechanical tanning.
It's terrible,
that,
yeah.
and you say this is divisive, and
it should never happen. But what? Oh, what was that?
Regardless, I'm going to do like a little bit of a breakdown. Look, sure, Viking Army won that, but they could have played that a lot better. And this is what I meant about the support needing to have that aggression, right? The second that Goyo died in the 90s, I mean, the reason why Goyo plays that is to allow, you know, that freedom of movement for the smoke. Smoke needs to make a decision right there, right away. You either play aggressively and you challenge that Yana, or you back up. You do not sit in Shower, because you have a soft wall behind you. You have the head eyes open. You have a single ADS protecting your shield. That's the easiest kill off the attacker's life, and that's exactly what we saw. And this is the thing, in general, is decisiveness is such an important thing. If you back away from that fight, that's valid. That is your prerogative. That's how you want to play. You can do that. If you want to take that fight head on, again, that is valid. That is your prerogative, and you should do that. But one thing you cannot do in Siege is pussyfoot around that. You make a decision and you stick to it. You don't get to have a miss. Where else do you want to fight? Cyrus.
5 seconds to go.
I am.
You want to hear a little bit of singing? Can we hear some on the
Oh, no, it's alright. I need to warm up the
Of
vocals.
course,
We got a
of
bit
course.
of lag happening, unfortunately, but it is the nature of the beast sometimes. I was going to mention as well, when Az was in that unwinnable situation, that Beans was hiding in shower. She was on, I think, like 2 health or something, but and I was imagining as well, like, if Az shot through the wall, she might actually be able to get like a lucky shot and just take off that 2 HP. But it was a headshot as well. There were 2 insane headshots back to back, one through a wall.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do to stop that.
I was even going to comment. I was going to make a quip about how painful it is when you are seeing the casting stream and you see the outlines, and you almost want to scream out to the defenders, shoot through the wall, shoot through the wall, but they can't see the outlines. But I guess
I think
I'm
Az
mistaken.
can.
I think Az can.
Yeah,
I think
Az
Az can
definitely
see the outlines. But here we go. Enough about that round. As chaotic as it was, we are on to another top side, which I am right in saying. Ari with the nade god, but is going to succumb to the full damage. We might have a 1-1 trade if no one's able to revive her. She's just going on for your life. Am I correct in saying that Viking have yet to win a topside defense?
Yes, believe so. They
located.
were basement and kitchen.
Oh, no one's going to. Oh, there we go.
Rav, there we go.
To pick up
Thank you.
Kotari. I honestly, I don't know what I would say if we saw a bleed out outside on screen. That would really.
Kotari doing a little dance. That she's back in the fight. We see you, Kotari. I would have laughed at Kotari.
50 HP. If only we could have that 50 HP revive.
Kotari's scary on 20 HP as it is. Honestly,
that's true. I mean, she has nothing to lose.
Yeah, she doesn't need 50 HP.
There we go. We've got attack, or we've got attic already.
Oh my god, they have.
We've got attic
I thought they were downstairs. Oh my god.
No. I didn't see it. No. I thought
so
it was a
chaotic.
lapse in judgment, giving it up, and this is exactly what we need to
was a
see.
bait.
I told you that we needed to see divisiveness, and Viking Army have delivered. They said, look, we're giving up Attic, and we are going to fall back, and we're going to keep our numbers up, and that's exactly going to work in their favor. I mean, Faith is here. She's probably going to revive Psycho, but you have a lot of HP lost. You've got Kotari on 20 HP, you've got Psycho on 20 HP, and you have these 4 defenders still alive in 20 seconds. They have the intel, they have the information. Kotari can't push through that smoke, and neither can Psycho. This is where my favorite defender becomes so lethal. It doesn't matter because the SMG-11 fire rate is so insane with the headshots. Faith is going to fall. Psycho is 10 HP, and that is just not enough to win against the defenders. And it just goes to show that is the importance of decision making. We saw that Viking Army was finally, they were decisive. And I know I keep saying that word, but it's so incredible.
It's an important word.
It is so incredible and important in Siege to make those decisions and make those decisions we saw. We did not see any unnecessary risk, and we did not see any unnecessary lingering. The second Attic was given up, we saw that Nitro getting ready because they knew they would push up. The second Kotari fell, we had the smoke prepared to deny that window, and as I complained about the previous round in one of mechanics, here we have a round beautifully won by Due Diligence.
Great skin there, Kotari. Just needed to comment on that.
She's
She's just flexing. I think what she's played her elite Twitch as well, or elite Ash. What was her other elite? Oh, right at the start, I forgot already. I have a terrible memory. She's just flexing at this point. I don't even think her operators.
Stop flexing real quick, you know?
Yeah, I think she's honestly just breaking away from the strats just to play her elite ops. Yeah, honestly, I think that's how she's doing it.
Well, that's the thing I was sort of talking about. Kotari is such an incredible player, and I don't think anyone can doubt her skill. What, season 1, 2, 3, 4, back to back champion of Women's League. She doesn't have to prove anything.
5 seconds.
Oh yeah, she does. Hey, Kotari, when you rewatch this, fight me. Nah, I'm scared already. I just said it and I got filled with fear. Nah, I love Kotari. Kotari's great. Yeah. 100% agree.
It goes to show, and it's even just like these micro decisions. We have this unlucky picks, and it is just, because it is fundamentally, these are both incredibly powerful teams. But genuinely, like, rain or shine, even in losing games, it is amazing watching Cortari play. It truly is, because everything seems deliberate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything is intentional. She has a mean and a motive, and a lot of the times it does check out, and you get to see that.
Does she have a medium and a mode as well?
Yeah. She's a mathematician at the end of the day, and she's just good. Like, there's nothing else to really say other than she's a good player in every regard. There are a lot of players. There it is. Beans taken off the board by Az. That swing was kind of ballsy, but. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
good.
that's the thing
I like to
is,
see it.
I said this years ago. It's
I rate it.
the vector on someone that has the speed of Goyo, that true speed to really just screw around is I mean, it's a terrible, it's a scary gun. I'm scared.
It's a horrifying gun, yeah.
And this is the thing I want to talk about as well, is we see teams like the meeting hatch sort of fell out of favor, but as of not recent, I mean, it's been there for a while. We are seeing teams, really loving that control, because I mean, if you have someone playing there, as you can see, I mean, Az cannot go through electric. I'm sorry, she's gonna run through with someone watching the hatch.
I think she's listening to us, and she just wants to prove you wrong.
She did. She ran through electrical, and then she came.
And then ran back. All right, Az, that's it. We're on to you. We know you're here. You can just talk. Yeah.
Let me open the Discord. Can someone check if Az is in the
Yeah.
master?
She's here. Oh god.
Let's get
Yes.
out of here.
And that position and that vector, she was taking shots that I couldn't see. She's on the other side. We've got Cortari, crack play. We've got
Psycho's
crack play. We've got
Going to lose some HP, but here we
think we'll have a
have
plant
the
soon.
same attack, but a little bit more in the favorable bird. They still do have someone lost, but as you can see, 2 Freezer, 2 laundry. It's still a very shallow push, and M is going to show how shallow that is, because they don't have the depth of pushing behind, but they can still make this work, finishing with 28 seconds. Psycho's gonna have to
no
go for the
faith.
blood.
Oh no faith.
She's going to escape it, Billy, but the smoke doesn't have any and cannot capitalize this. We have Maestro cams, please.
Oh yeah.
No,
Nope.
the LMG go burr, unfortunately. As much as this is a smart decision, we just have bullets. We just have bullets. And here, Psycho again is in a 1v5. He's going to take a kill out. But, and that's the thing. Look, Overt diversified their portfolio. We had a laundry freezer split push. But the fact of the matter is it's still very, very shallow. And if you are a talented defender team, and that's what we saw from Viking Army, if you see a push that is that close, you combine it into one. You don't say, hey, look, this is a laundry freezer push. This is a push from one side, and that's exactly what we saw. A laundry push, you have people playing behind the half wall on the left and maybe under the table, just denying that entry. In a freezer push, you have people maybe extending into that laundry side just to really meet that head on. But we didn't have that extension. We saw Viking Army see that all the attackers were from the same side, and they held back. They turned a split push into just one, and as any siege player worth their salt knows, if you attack from one side, that's a flip of a coin. You're either acing or you're losing. There's no other alternative.
Yeah, for sure. And you've always got to risk someone else coming. We haven't seen much of it in this game, but you've always got to risk one of the defenders just dipping out and coming from your backside. But yeah, we haven't seen any major flanks. We've seen a lot of roam presence, which has slowly been falling back. But no major flanks, no usage of the basement to sort of disappear, reappear somewhere else. Which it's one of my favorite play styles on Oregon. But I think it goes back to the start of the map where we said these teams aren't going to play as risky as they might usually. I thought as well with Viking at one stage being 0-2, they needed to take defense 4-2.
Remember how I said Overt would win?
Yes.
I hope they have a reverse. I hope they have a reverse sweep up their sleeve. Otherwise, I'm gonna be getting some.
You would be wrong.
I'm gonna be getting some "I told you so"s in my DMs real quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh
we
yeah.
have a little bit of extension. Now, not that it's an inherently bad thing. One thing that is slightly interesting is, personally, I don't see a lot of bandit play on the top floor, and the reason why is Mute is able to do fundamentally exact same thing minus tricking, which is just not that viable here. With the added ability of being able to deny intel and also have a little bit more. But right now, I guess Overt is saying, look, we want to do one job and we want to do it perfectly, and that's keeping those those walls closed. Sorry. And so, I mean, we have the Bandit. Maybe it's even a comfort pick. I mean, a lot of people don't like Mute's kit. The Bandit MP7 is just something really terrifying. And that's the thing, though, exactly as like I said, and why I think that a Thatcher ban is just not warranted. Look how fast Classroom was cleared. I mean, if you're not going to play below, the defenders are just going to come in and take it. We have wall open in a minute 40 on the clock. However, unlike Overt, we don't have the same sorry, I was gonna say we don't have the same preparation for worst, but I mean, with only Psycho playing in Attic, and that's nothing against Psycho, that's just the Frost kit specifically. If they find this intel out, I mean, you have 4 grenades and a single shield wall with an ADS, not even a shield.
There is a frost mat at the drop down though.
There's a frost
I am imagining we might see one bear trapping.
A progma
Yeah.
kill. I like that frost mat there, and the reason why is I found out in the Fallen Angels against I think Overt game last season. Oh, we do have him aggressive as ever, but you can sprint over that. If you sprint, you won't get hit by that frost mat. I did it against Overt.
I think Weird One saw it. I think it was shot. Yeah, there.
Come on, sprint over it! Come on!
There are 2 more on the board though. I just want to see that. But Cortari is still below. We might see that flank that I was mentioning before. Ellie taking some damage, but not enough to be too worried about. M on the slither of health and taking out anyone. That is a glass cannon right there. Not a lot of health, but hitting where it matters. Never mind. Thanks, Em, for dying when I said that.
Honestly, I can't place what Viking Army is doing. They had so much side control, they gave it in, and that's the thing is when you see an opportunity by Path, take it. We had Classroom, games control. We had Attic control. What Alan needed to do was stick that diffuser down immediately and not waste any time, and as needed to watch that straight away. And then again from the Attic push, you didn't need to take that Classroom control. You had the plant pretty decisively down. They just needed to hold that. They did not need to extend, and Overt punished it. And that's exactly what happened. And they're showing that, hey, they're staying in the game. And maybe they're just trying to make me not look like an idiot by getting 7-2'd when I said that they would comfortably win this.
Yeah, look, I think as well. I was going to I think things during the round. I think nah, they're gonna change that up. Something's gonna happen. So I shouldn't say it. But I was keeping my eye on Cortari the volume of that round, and I thought Cortari is staying off site for quite a while. There's a lot of pressure in Attic. You know that the wall's open. Cortari really should be focusing on getting back to site, but she just slowly sauntered to white stairs and got a double kill off it, I believe. Just because VA didn't capitalize when they could. If they'd capitalized earlier and got the plant down earlier, then there wouldn't have been an issue coming from Cortari. They wouldn't have had to worry about that flank coming back to site. But I don't know what was going through everyone's mind at the moment, at the time. I don't know what exactly the comms were, but I think they were just trying to clear out more space and try to find maybe a secondary plant location because there was someone downstairs and maybe they were worried for the vertical play.
Dude, I had a heart attack. I thought Faith was an attacker. I was like, Overt, please, Overt, please, please.
Oh, please no. Someone's in sight somehow very quickly.
Chilling. Yeah, I got a bit confused. Didn't recognize the name.
Well, we're seeing a turtle hold here from Overt, which is honestly a bit surprising. I generally see them playing a bit more outward, at least having one, at least usually 2 soft roam or roam players. But here we are having everyone near side. Where is Cortari? Is Cortari in bunks?
In bunker. She's doing
okay.
She's doing a little bit of peeking on the window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the shield going. Oh, I like it. realizing that no one's pushing from bunker,
Yeah.
just switching it over and having that angle onto the freezer door just for later in
It's
the
the
round.
right read. It really is. But in all honesty, I wouldn't be rotating utility this early. I mean, it is correct, but
Yeah, it's a correct choice, but I would say very very
but from
early,
a
very
defender,
risky.
from a defender perspective, without the intel that we have, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do know the exact position, but I mean, it's still not too late for these attackers to capitalize on that and just go for a hard bunker push. But that is not what is going to be happening. So maybe that pays off. Maybe Kotari just has that sixth sense. Maybe it's Maybelline. We already have the meaning hatch taken over, and I mean, with this turtle-like hold, I mean, we saw a little bit of it against the Warriors. And we saw Overt getting resounding success with it. I think Overt is just really, they've solidified their position. I think they are using this as like.
Oh, wait, are they gonna know that Cortari's in the corner? Are they
I hope
gonna
they
know?
drone it. They surely they drone it, right?
Oh, Cortari's swinging anyway.
Cortari's gonna
Okay.
make a prison
Oh,
drone.
Cortari.
And as we're seeing time and time again, is so incredibly lethal.
Deadly on the Maverick.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't not expect it. We've got
Now the attackers have a shield. The
They
attackers have a
do.
shield.
It's a 5v3,
Attackers have located
and they're going to be playing the shield. If M can get the diffuser down, they're meeting control. Overt is pushed to the back, and Weird One's going to capitalize. If M can get the diffuser right now, Weird One's going to be hunting.
Oh, we got a bit of a. Yep, there we go. We had a bit of a door issue, but 5v2 Bean's taken off the board.
I beg you.
Psycho Faith. Oh, there's the C4. That.
Overt doesn't know that Weird One's here.
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
Oh my god.
She's about to make her presence known. Psycho's in a 1v5, surrounded on all sides. There's really not much she can do. And
Shotgun ace. Oh,
close
never
down.
mind. I'm sorry.
Surely. Hey,
Sorry.
I did it.
I believe this was
On the site?
this was the site, this was the map
casted it.
where
You
I
casted it.
commented how the shotgun on mute is not that good. Mute and smoke, I think it's overrated,
You-
not that good.
you-
And
you
you pulled
said-
out a 4K to
you
clutch
said-
it out or something.
You told me that I should swap to the SMG-11 for those long angles, and I did not.
You know, ever since then, I have been more comfortable using the shotgun in a long angle. I thought,
on
yeah,
it.
go hit
I'm
him.
on it. And that's exactly what I saw. I said, look, and I think as ESP, I need to see those mods, but no, Anna, like in all seriousness, that's the thing, is at 1 minute 50, you can't be rotating your utility like that.
Attackers need to locate
Bunker
and defuse
is
bombs.
such an easy position to clear out, but it's such an important position to hold. There's a reason why, despite it being like it is really easy to clear out bunker. There's 2 ADSs. All you need to do is burn that and you impact the ship.
We do have Flores on the board too.
We have Flores on the board, and we don't have a
Haven't
mute.
seen him.
We don't have a mute from the defenders on this bunker side. Bunker is, or even, I mean, we've seen a little bit of shield play from Az. Send a blitz down there, you're going to clear that straight away. And I think that is what the Warden is preempting. I generally think that's the case. The thing is, Bunker is such an easy site to clear out,
5 seconds
you
left
can't
before
give it
insertion.
up. Because it can be the difference
Attackers'
between
objective is to locate a bomb
win or
and
lose
defuse
rounds.
it.
I really want to know what was going through Cortari's head while proning in that corner. Because if she had no reason to. There was no. If she needed to hop on camera, she could do it from behind the shield. If she needed to, basically, I don't know what else there is. There's no angles that she needs to watch.
I honestly, a lot of teams right now hate clearing out bunker. I think she was hoping that Viking were wanting to clear it out fast. And in all honesty, that was what they were going to do. Az hadn't droned out, at least to my knowledge. Az was literally had a concussion out, was prepping to clear that shield. It was unfortunate timing. Cortari got a bit restless. She wanted to swing because she said, look, I don't want to get refired here. I don't want that concussion to find me. I'm going to be screwed. But I think that's what she's capitalizing on. Like I said, like we can see even already, they haven't droned out bunker. I mean, you know.
I think they have. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
they
I've
have?
seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they don't have anyone watching it. Someone could run out onto the door. I don't think anyone's trying to camera. But the point is, people are clearing up. Look how fast they're playing it up. It's just not something that people like doing. I think Otari wanted to capitalize on it. It was just tiny. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, we see another drone going in that might be able to confirm that there's no more Warden in there. The reinforcement's gone up. There's bunker control given to Viking. But still, even with bunker control, you've still got a lot to take out. Ooh, the angle just missed by Az. Able to see some through sight. Yeah, hacks haven't been turned on yet. Just trying to throw off her sense.
So close.
Shoot through the wall, Az. There it is. There it is.
Not quite through the wall, there's still going to be a kill nonetheless. Ali's going to fall to Watari. Even though she's given up bunker, she's not giving up her aggressive positioning. Attacker's got a lot of control, they've got a lot of time on their hands, but Overt aren't going anywhere. But Weird One is going to say, actually, you are going to go. You're going to go back to the cam screen, and here we have full dominance and full control. I don't even know, every time I say something, I'm being proven incorrect.
So Bean's taking back a little bit of that control from Freezer Door as the plant is trying to go down by M, but M's just not sure where to put down this diffuser. Nowhere is safe as Beans and Faith create a crossfire. They have to get it down. 30 seconds left, and the plant starts going down, and Bean's taken off the board. That allows a safe spot.
No one knows where Faith is. That could end it, but it misses. And now they know, now they have the intel, they've hit the top of the counter, but she's gonna stay in with the Goyo, with the Victor, sorry.
Oh, just not able to flick over. And honestly, I thought that C4 went over. I thought, how did she survive?
It hit the rim. Unfortunately, you have to be closer. It's such a narrow gap.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I thought that would be a very far throw, but Goyo's strong.
Goyo can eat it. Yeah, yeah. Siege devs, Siege, come on.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
Can we just add a new thing?
Why don't they just roll it up into a ball and it's just a ball of C4?
Well, I mean, if it's
easier.
Like, if it is like plastics explosives, I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't do. Oh well, it's got the Nokia.
Come on, Psycho, don't do this to me. Don't change it. You little.
Oh my.
I love Clash. I honestly Clash. I hate Clash, but I love Clash. I don't know how to explain it anymore. It's like the first time. So I used to be a Clash main back in my competitive era, long gone. When Clash came out, she was no one liked her. So I mained her to force people to ban her because I hated going up against her. So I thought if our team became the Clash team, then we can use our ban for something else. We can create the strats. We can control the way the map works.
My goal is with comp.
What's your goal?
My goal, I want to make a team ban Smoke for no other reason than I'm playing it. That's my goal. I want to do that.
I think Smoke ban, we'll be seeing a lot more Smoke bans over the next couple of seasons, with Tachanka actually becoming a viable
here's
alteration
the thing,
to it.
Tachanka is powerful, but Smoke is a better deny plant. The only time I believe anyway, and I might be wrong, but the only time we will see a Smoke ban to play the Tachanka is quite literally teams that think their Smoke player is worse, and because that's the trade-off. Is look, Tachanka has more Shumiha launches, but they last for such an inconsequential amount of time, and they don't stack. It's such an easy thing to push through, and that's the unfortunate reality of it. Unless we have a little bit more of that Tachanka rework. Right now, don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily a bad decision, but you ban Smoke and play Tachanka if you think that the other team's Smoke player is better than your Smoke player, quite literally. And
that must suck for you. There's always that's. I saw a jab and I took it.
1v1 me after this. SMG 11 only. Shotgun only.
Yeah, so I could go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
There's the wall open.
Back
we get some action.
The top floor attack. The wall's already open. I mean, this is playing out exactly how we saw again, but let's see if Viking have learned, and if it's going to be a 7-3, or if Overt are here to stay. We have everyone on the board, unlike last time. Overt is playing so passively. With
some damage coming out though early. Ali taking some damage very early on. I did see Faith in the kids bedroom, just sitting there waiting. I'm not sure exactly what the point is there. When you can have someone sitting there, you can have them watching cams. You'll have someone
Also,
who'll be able to hear
just
the
Free
window.
Fire. Like, I don't know anyone that
Yeah.
doesn't Free
Oh,
Fire
there's
does that.
that's
Grenade!
the vertical
Grenade!
grenade that I wanted to see.
grenades!
Oh, it wasn't a vertical. Damn, it wasn't a vertical. But it's still a
We're
good
gonna even
grenade.
it
Psycho taking out weird one,
out.
evening out the numbers. We still see a 4-4. You know, generally, as we said before, generally that goes to the side of the defenders.
I
But
don't know
recently,
if Ali
who
is
knows?
going to do this, but if she opens up that wall into attic, it's
would
going
be
to make
very
it
risky, the
very
angle.
hard for the Wamai to be able to play here. They're 40 seconds on the clock, and they have the path to open, but Maverick is trapped in attic. Unless the rest of the team is willing to make an aggressive play, Viking Army are going to stagnate.
Oh, there's the
Um,
head
located.
popping out
And
from
here's the
Beans,
thing.
taking off Ali's head herself, and Gorn also falling off the as also getting taken out. This just
Overta
leaves
here to
M in a
stay-
1v4 situation.
Avert, I'm quite literally saying,
15
look,
seconds
like,
left.
we're not going to let you sit there and think, if you don't come to us, we're going to come to you. And there's only so much that one gun can do. And that's the thing. This is the reality. Look, I mean, we see this from a lot of teams in Women's League where they know their objectives and they take it well. Their objectives were, look, get clear off classroom, get open that games wall, get open attic, have the presence there. But very few teams, and this is I wholeheartedly stand by the statement. There are very few teams in Women's League that know how to execute well and reliably, and that is the important thing. You can do all the objectives you want. You can get vert, you can get your kills, you can be up 2 people, you can have every single wall and site open and be looking. But if you do not know how to execute, you are not going to win.
Yeah, I think we do see that a lot. I think you're right in saying that. We have a lot of situations where the attackers, they do their step-by-step
Attackers need
processes.
to locate
They
and
they
defuse
get
as many
into
bombs as
position,
they
they
can.
take all the room that they need to. But as soon as they're on the precipice, they're on the edge, they're right there, ready to take sight, they freeze and they don't know what the next step is. They're waiting for someone to make the move and nothing happens. And then that just gives all the power back to the defenders. They're like, oh, here we are, we're ready to push you. Just give us a moment, and the defender's gonna never give you that chance.
No, precisely.
Yeah,
and I
and-
think
and
it
that's exactly
stems
what there.
from, look, if you are a coach in Women's League, or if you are a player, maybe you don't have a
10
coach, or
seconds to go.
whatever it may be. If you are teaching a team how to play,
5 seconds
strategy-wise,
left.
please, coaches, analysis, or players, if you do your work
Attackers'
yourself,
objective
you
is to
need
locate a
the
bomb
players
and
to
defuse it.
understand why you need to take those objectives. If you tell a team, get this wall open, get vert, do this, do that, counter this, bring this operator, and they don't fundamentally understand why you do that, you will not have success. Because you cannot give your players a guide on how to play, especially not as an attacker. You
Yes.
need to understand not only what your objectives are, but why you need to take them and when you need to take them. Because like I said, teams, again, and it is developing, it's an ever-changing craft, but right now, in terms of what we see time and time again in Women's League, from an attacks are
Attackers have dropped the
so
bomb diffuser.
robotic.
Attackers recovered
sorry.
the diffuser.
They're formulaic to the point of failure. And this is a generalization, absolutely. There's a sweeping generalization, and teams do have a degree of onus, and they do know how to have their flair for creativity. But for the most part, we see incredibly regimented attacks, and as an attacker, you can't be doing that. If you as a player or as like an analysis or something are telling your players to do anything every single time, you have failed.
Oh, we have our first frag of the round. Sorry to jump in there.
Oh.
Kotari taking out as that is one big fragger taking off the side of Viking.
We still have him on the board.
The frags. Oh, I thought that was a head. Unfortunate, Rav. I agree. I think Ravenna's not happy with the result of that shot, but am able to sneak away with a little bit of health and some damage also. Oh, no damage from that one, but damage taken to Ravenna with the nades. I do notice, yeah, no magnets in there to protect Ravenna from that. Interesting choice. As you know, holding upstairs is very important for this, for meeting. You can hold that hatch, you can hold a very large area as Psycho pushes close up to the bomb to try to contest that breach that was just open. We also have a down on the side of Viking. That's Ayana. That's a weird one. On the ground, waiting for someone to give her a pat on the back to get back up. but so much damage coming out and not the kills. Overt really need to confirm these kills, because even though they might have little health, as we saw before, I think M just walked in on 20 health the other round and claimed 2 kills of her own. So you can be a glass cannon as Ali holds that angle onto the rotate, stopping any more defenders from getting onto site. It is a bit of a stalemate that we saw before, which is not good on the side of the attackers. And Ravenna, I thought that was Psycho for a moment.
I
Very
thought you
confused.
For the smoke, and
Yeah,
but
oh,
she did
there it
shoot
is.
for the smoke, and then another smoke trade.
Oh,
We
so
just
many
have
smokes.
Stewie 2K firing through every single
Dropped.
smoke we see.
15 seconds remaining.
But yeah, like you said, look, a stalemate just doesn't favor the attackers. You
10
are getting
seconds
these
left.
objectives, but you have to capitalize them, and there's only so much the Sledge can do. The Sledge will fall to the lesion as to be expected. Look, here we have a situation that Viking Army are all too familiar with. They were on the cusp of victory at match point, but it is about just breaking that point. It is about going over that precipice. We have seen an immaculate defending half from Viking Army, but the fluidity that is required to attack is just simply not there, unfortunately. And another thing that is a problem of note is if Viking Army, which is obviously like their best outcome right now in terms of if they want to make finals, is to win right now, obviously, because they would have a 2-round victory, which is the best situation they can get from now on. And
Unfortunately
so
for them, they
Attackers
can't
need to
make
locate and
playoffs
defuse
anymore.
as many
they
bombs
can't
as they can.
make playoffs anymore. I was
No.
gonna assume that it wasn't.
Grumpy's game is over.
Is over. What's the score?
Yeah. So from the mainstream, Grumpy did take out the win
Bomb
7-1,
located by attackers.
which means there
One
is
round
no
off.
way.
1 round off. I was.
Yeah,
one
I
round
know.
off.
So you're already wrong. So I can already send you that message saying "told you
I
so"
was.
because you were
I was
incorrect.
1 round off. That was close.
That's
That was. That was
you were
close.
incorrect.
That was
You were
close.
incorrect.
That was close.
It's still incorrect. But we will. Do you think this will be? Do you think this will go to overtime, regardless?
10 seconds left before insertion.
Big question.
It's basement. It's
Yeah, it
basement,
is.
And this is a really powerful site from
Attackers
Viking
are
Army.
moving to defuse the bomb.
But here's the thing: the defender lineup, like at its core, hasn't changed that much, but neither has the attackers. And so I honestly can't. Oh, actually, no, we do have a Qatari room. We have a Qatari
Yes,
room.
yes, we do have the Cortari room. I think Cortari is very just happy to pop out anywhere. And I did notice the other round she was sitting in small tower just before, so doing the exact same, making sure. Oh, is that a peak? That's a peak, Cortari. You are evil. Cortari.
Okay, here's the thing: with the attackers, with Cortari being off site, if Viking Army, I'm saying this right now, if Viking Army gets their objectives and capitalizes it, and capitalizes it fast, they will win. I don't think Overt will be able to deal with that. That being said,
It will have to be
is
a very
Viking
quick
Army-
push.
Is Viking Army going to do that? I genuinely do not know, because they haven't done it round after round after round. And I'm not just meaning like Cortari coming back. I'm saying like, look, we have all of these players prepped, primed, and ready for an execute. They have a lot of intel. They know there's a pillar player. They know that someone's playing on site. They probably know that someone's playing freezer. They don't have the last 2 defenders, but they do have a lot of information. They can definitely find out a lot more information with their drones. Viking Army in a very, very good position to hit that execute because they know how Overt are playing. But if they don't capitalize, they're not going to.
Yeah, I think exactly. And there's a lot of time being wasted on this shield. And finally, it's been taken out, I believe, by Az. Yep, there it is. And now they have a bit more of pillar control, but they also have rear stage stairs, or big tower stairs control. So there is a pinch coming, but it is coming very slowly. I think Cortari is already close enough to help. Yeah, they're in kitchen, already close enough to help out. So
Attackers have
the
located
element
the
of
bomb.
surprise is already lost by Viking,
Yeah.
but they do need to make a quick push. If they can make a decisive push very quickly, Cortari setting up her own little rotates to be able to get at us out of kitchen if need be.
As it's already
But
going to lose.
there
a
it
little
is.
bit
There's
of
the first
health,
take.
at least
There's
gonna
the
get
first pick.
And this is what I mean. Viking Army need to be playing off these picks. I mean, that was huge. That was on site. And we still have Portari offside, and we have the defenders. Obviously, they don't know offside. M's going to be rushing in, but without her team backup, it's not going to do anything. Finally, we have the plant down, but through the smoke, Psycho and Kotari are going to close this out, and I don't think Weird One's going to be being able to do that much because the diffuse is right down. And this is what I mean.
Ravenna, just on the other side of the wall, maybe gets the kill right here.
She's
No.
gonna close it out. Oh, she got the injured kill, but Weird One is still alive on the board, but with 10 seconds, I don't think she can get the plant. This is exactly what I meant. They needed to be a bit faster, and Ravenna is going to get the final
There
kill,
it
forcing
is.
Overt into overtime. At least I had one prediction of the night, right? But no, this is the thing. Look, we're going into overtime.
Oh, the pun.
Viking Army need to learn how to capitalize on that tech, and we saw a little bit of it. We saw that aggression from M, we saw that capitalization to an extent. It was unlucky, and that was what it was. It was unlucky that two people fell through smokes, and I'm not dissing anyone on Overt. Absolutely, I mean, they had the information, they capitalized on it. What else would you do in that situation? But it was of no fault of Viking Army that those players died behind the smoke cover. There was only so much they can do. So we see that the attackers from Viking Army are starting to learn to be able to capitalize off the control that their attackers are making.
Defenders,
Which is a
protect your
great
bombs
start, but
from
that
being
is
defused by
something
attackers.
that you should be just learning on game day. And here we have Meeting Kitchen, which was a site that we saw Overt defend absolutely spectacular. If Viking Army read this well, and they really go for a hard push, I mean, look at the amount of utility that Overt has right now. Look, they have a Melusi, they have a Wamai, Castle, Mute, Legion, right? We have a Sledge, Zofia, and Maverick on the... Oh, and actually we have we have a plethora of people that can all clear out a lot of this utility on the side of Viking Army.
5 seconds
And
left
so
before
if they get this intel out, we see two castle barricades top floor. The glue
Attackers
mines,
are
I mean,
heading out to defuse a bomb.
yeah, they suck, but that's about it. And as we know, the Melusis can be shot out. And again, a lot of the mute jammers are all above because that is what Overt was one going to control. If Viking Army read this and they read that Kitchen is this naked, a solid push simply from Kitchen with a shallow plant could be devastating. Yes, the hatch is open, but I mean, if you find that right position, that could potentially be game breaking. Actually, we do see Viking Army starting on the Junkyard side, but Kotari is always going to open up with a kill already, and that is going to give their position away to Overt. And you can see how adaptable Overt is, already slightly changing. But here's the thing, this is where the decision-making process comes up. This is where the mind games open up. Viking Army is in a very sort of split position. If they find a weakness, because Overt is spread quite thin, and they capitalize off it, they could definitely finally win an attack round for the first time in a number of rounds. But if they don't capitalize off it, yeah, in too long. But if they don't capitalize off it, they're going to lose. And here we go. We have a little bit of aggression. We have M on the Maverick, and we have the Yana doing a little bit of a duo frag, but they don't have the diffuser present. So what I think they're doing is they're just clearing a bit of utility, maybe even seeing if they can get a pick. But they still have a minute 42. And a minute 42 is a really good and interesting point of time. Because it's a lot of time to do what you want to do, but it's not a lot of time to screw. And if Viking Army are going to screw around, they're going to be in a Soul Awakening. But if they capitalize off the intel, they're more than enough time to do exactly what they want. And you can see they are just preparing for their positions. We still have 3
Attackers have
defenders
located a bomb.
from Overt above. This could go genuinely either way, but a team needs to make a move. Again, we are at the infamous stalemate. Neither of these teams are willing to go for that aggression. And the first team that does it and does it well is going to be devastating, as is just going to miss out on that pick. The 4-4 is going to even it out. If they can get one more kill on any defender, preferably on the
Plant's
side,
going down.
they're going to be devastating. And here we go. We have a plant down. If it can stick in just a few more seconds, 1 second on the clock, Az is going to deny security. And here we have a 4v3. The defenders now becoming the attackers. And this is a really good situation for Viking Army. This is exactly what I was telling that they needed to do. We have them upstairs, and they are going to run like lambs into the slaughter, straight into the waiting arms of Viking Army. And that's what you have to do. When you see defenders playing that far off site, you go for absolute dominance. I mean, not to overshadow
Az's absolute dominance.
That was a quad kill there
It was
by
a quad
Az.
kill. It was certainly very impressive, and it had an incredible amount of impact on the round. But as a team, that is what needed to happen. Look, Viking Army had that split push. They saw 3 defenders on the top floor. You know what they did? They went for it. They went for their kills. They went for their plant, and when they went for their side hold, and they won.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what they needed to do. Obviously, Az pulled out a great play, and the round may not have been the same without Az, but it was just a good read as well from Viking. They knew there was a lot of vertical hold, and they knew where the vertical hold was looking. If they pushed through kitchen door just by itself, that was a very dangerous spot because the hatch was open. If they just tried to take anywhere in meeting, the hatch was open as well. And they tried to take vertical
Defenders,
control
protect your
last
position
time
being defused
we saw
by
this site,
attackers.
and it just didn't play out for them. So instead, they thought of a different attack. Unfortunately, there was a miscommunication with the drones and the entry fragger, and we saw Gorn taken off the board very quickly. But there was a good recovery, and they found the weakness as soon as the site was clear. Push in, plant in a safe spot, and the dominoes fell from there. I think it was a very, very good read. I was worried that Viking were going to try the same thing, or try in a more aggressive push
10
upstairs.
seconds to go.
But it was very good to actually see that unfold. And as you said before, it was Lamstil's slaughter. After the plant was down, they were just all walking back, trying to check every single angle. And it seemed like Az was on every angle, so there's no winning. This looks like a 5. Okay, good. For a second, it looked like everyone was going down. Yeah, it looked like everyone was going down, but no, it was just the angle that we're looking at. Everyone's going up, which is more like what we usually
More
see.
traditional. I mean, we
Yeah,
still
more
have.
traditional.
I mean, this is the thing. Look, Overt are very, very powerful gunners, and they've had a lot of success from this, this head-on war of attrition stealth gunfight. But look, it's work, and so yes, it's this why if it ain't broke, don't fix it type beat. But again, against competent teams, I don't want to say it doesn't work, because they've shown up against the best teams in the league, and they have taken rounds. But it isn't because the strategy is particularly impressive. It is because Overt are very, very talented fraggers in their own right. And this is what I mean, is it's all from one side. And this is the attack that infamously lost Overt's push on Freezer many, many rounds ago. We have a little bit of diversifying. We have these attackers sort of starting to spread out. But if they go back and they all push from one side again, that is all in vain. And that's what Viking Army is hoping for. But only time will tell if that's exactly what Overt can do. I mean, we do have a little bit of spread.
A
We have
bomb
the
has been
bunker. We have
located.
due diligence being taken. We have the hatches being taken over. We have droning. They are doing exactly what they need to do. But here's the thing. Smoke is incredibly powerful in bunker. Not just for the SMG-11, but here's the thing. I mean, Az is already going to eliminate
No
Kortari,
Kortari.
sitting on the stairs. But she's
And-
going to get traded up by Ravenna, and that is the hallmark of a good team, is playing off your fraggers and being able to make that entry. But here's the thing. Again, like I said, a minute on the clock, and Overt has made no progress on site. We have 3 smoke canisters, and we already have another Overt player falling. All Gon has to do is not peek. If she sits behind the Goyer shield and doesn't hold angle, like she's doing right now, yeah.
Okay, it's alright, that's alright. The swing now needs to. Yeah, okay. We're getting there. She's
A bit of a rocky
shooting what she
start,
needs to.
But hey, a kill's a kill. It's look, it's 3v2. Gon has the smokes and the Goyer shield. That's gonna waste all the time the attackers need. Which means Beans either has to pull out the frags out of her pocket, or she has to go right now. And the 20 seconds on the clock is not what she can do.
Oh,
She's
never mind.
Gonna take the trick out. And I don't know if this information has been relayed, because Maestro
10
turned
seconds
awfully
remaining.
late. And the cam is going to reveal her position, and she's going to go out. That is going to solidify
There it is.
the standings, but as we have already established, unfortunately Viking Army will not be making playoffs. Overt will be going on to the finals, so everyone wish them the best of luck. I mean, this is the end of round robin, but it isn't the end of Women's League. We have 4 teams that have been better than any 4 teams that we've ever seen in Women's League.
LMG supremacy.
LMG
Yes,
supremacy.
always.
And it's going to be
we
one
have
hell of a game.
7 players who are above 10 kills. We have 7 players that were on double digits there. I mean, it was overtime, but still, it's an impressive display. We had a very impressive display there. As we mentioned before, over on the other stream, we had Grumpy Grapes taking out the win against Radical Rebels. I also believe Warriors took out a flawless win against Volps from what I just saw over on the main stream. Not dropping a round, at least what was written down, which is an impressive display to say the least, but it's the Warriors. They're a pretty good team. So unfortunately, even with a great display like that from Viking, they don't get to make playoffs. It is such a bittersweet end of the season, clawing back and forth round after round. They were sitting on 6 rounds for a while as well, so they would be very happy that they were able to close that one out, but unfortunate for them.
There's almost and this is the thing, is as painful as I see, of course, me being a sub on VA, I'd love to see us have made that finals and it would be amazing. But it goes to show, and I've said this a million times, but it goes to show how close the competition is. Like I said, historically, we've had a couple teams win one game, boom, the standings are set for the entirety of it. Here, people don't know the top 4 until the last hour of the last.
It changed the whole way through.
And this is beautiful. We've never seen such an amazing showing. We have a team of people that are dedicated to furthering the competitive scene, and it is amazing. And I am honored to have been able to be a part of that. And it's amazing seeing the talent of Women's League continue to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, it's been one heck of a journey, honestly, and it's still not over. It's definitely not over. We've still got playoffs to go, and we'll see who comes out on top. But watching as there's been roster changes throughout the season as well. There has been just player growth throughout the season. If you compare some of the teams at the start, some of the teams now, you won't even recognize them. They're completely different players. They have completely different skills, filling different roles. It's been great to see. But unfortunately, 4 of them we aren't going to see anymore for the rest of the season. We'll be moving on to the playoffs, where the final 4 will be vying out for the grand prize. The prize pool of $3,000, and obviously the grand prize if they can. But that was a great way to finish. I just want to thank both of those teams, both Viking and Over, for giving us a final show of round robin. It was great to see. Cortari flexing all the elites. Thank you. We get the point.
But
we got them.
As mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I mean, hey, even if you're not in one of those top 4 teams, don't be. Is the ZQ still on?
Yes,
undecided.
I believe it is. So we do have the season MVP. Can we bring that up on the screen? Yeah, I think that's coming up. We have the season MVP, which is still undecided. It can go to anyone. The ZQ Racing chair, worth over $300, all listed in front of you. Kind of a great chair. Kind of jealous. Mine's getting old. So you might have a DM from me, whoever wins that one.
I'm sitting on a lawn chair right now, a plastic lawn chair.
Whatever works, but I think the ZQ's a little better.
I don't diss the
don't diss the
gaming
launcher.
Yeah.
Oh god. But I think that would be that's all from us tonight. The games are still moving over on the mainstream. To get there, just take the B off the end of ours. B stands for better. I always need to remind people that. But the mainstream will be having one more game. I believe that is Forsaken Boba against Fallen Angels. I do have actually over here. They are going to Chalet. They're going to Chalet. So we'll see a Chalet map over there.
I love Chalet. It's my favorite map.
But from Ticked and myself, I think that's the end of us tonight. Hopefully we'll see you guys around, maybe in chat over on the mainstream, but we'll see you guys another time. Thank you.
Have a very, very good night.